welcome to Saral Japani YouTube channel. Friends, today in this video, I am going to talk about the complete timeline for postgraduate admissions in Japan for international students. That is, higher studies in Japan for master and doctoral degrees. So let's look at the timeline. And this will be for April 2027 intake. Before we begin, here are few disclaimer. Information provided in this video is a generic one and not specific to any one particular university. That is, low-level information may vary from university to university. One should remember that not all universities provide all fields of study and programs. Not all universities and or programs follow the same timelines. Not all scholarships are applicable to all fields of study, to all universities, to all nationalities, and to all programs, that is master and doctoral. JLPT, TOEFL, IELTS may not be applicable for certain programs, and it may vary depending on the instruction of that particular course. Hence, every prospective applicant is advised to look for detailed information provided in the application guidelines of the program to get correct and authentic information regarding admission timeline, eligibility criteria, available and applicable scholarships, tuition fees, etc. So with that being said, now let's start looking at the timeline for postgraduate admissions for international students in Japan for April 2027 intake. Postgraduate degree programs, April 2027 intake. July 2025, that means this is the month we are in today. So this is the month when you should find information and look for universities, programs, fields of study, graduate schools, and mentally prepare about your research area at a high level. So you should do some kind of research about where and what type of study you want to perform in Japan as postgraduate degree. Then once you are done with that, then August and September are the months when you should shortlist the programs and zero upon the intended research topic. Start contacting professors across multiple universities and graduate schools. So contacting professors, searching professors, and sharing your ideas about your research with the professors. This is the, I would say, the most important step for research applicants, because once you have a professor and if the professor is impressed with your research topic, then things become much easier. Friends, in on paper, there are many rules regarding scholarships and all other things, but you should remember that if you have a godfather in the form of a professor who is willing to accept you as a research student under his guidance, then he can do magic for you. He can recommend your name for scholarships. He can look for, even if you do not get mixed or a big scholarship, then also he can recommend your name for some university specific scholarships or JASO scholarships, some teaching assistantship, research assistantship, and many other things. So that's why I'm saying that contacting professor and getting a professor who is impressed about your research topic is the key to success in this entire admission process. And how professors will get impressed. So what you should be doing. So the research topic, the research theme, the research plan that you are going to produce and share with the professor is your key to success. That means your research proposal is the most important weapon for getting everything during the admission process. So a good professor, a good scholarship, everything will depend on your research, because once the professor uh, is um, is willing to take you based on your research plan, then he can open many doors for you regarding financial aid. September to December 2025. During this period, you shall be preparing all your documents for the application submission. You have to write the research plan in consultation with the selected professor. Take language tests like JLPT, TOEFL, IELTS as applicable for the program. And you should remember that one JLPT is held in December, for which you have to file the application. You have to apply for JLPT in September. So JLPT is not mandatory for research applicants, but I have seen that if you have JLPT, then there is more chance of getting a scholarship. If you don't get mixed scholarship, then the JASO scholarship and other scholarships, they give preference to candidates who have a JLPT certificate. So JLPT is directly or indirectly very, very important. So please try to have at least N4 certification in Japanese proficiency. Then during the same period, October to December 2025, this year, you have to apply to a bunch of universities. Don't just stick to one university, but select 3 to 4 universities of your choice, depending on which universities are best for your field of study, and apply for admission. And along with that, for next university recommendation track as well. So when you submit the application for admission, in some universities there is a separate application form they will provide to you for applying for the next university recommendation track, and for some universities it is part of the application. You have to give your willingness to apply for MEC scholarship, and the university will analyze your qualifications. They will prepare the merit list with the other applicants, and if they feel suitable, then they will recommend your name for next scholarship via the university track. So submit all the required documents, that is the research plan, the letter of recommendations, transcripts and other things, health certificate and other things, to the university directly by their deadline. So this is the period October to December 2025. So friends, there is not enough time. Can you feel that? So we are in July now. So you have less than you have just 4 or 5 months: July, August, September, October. So just 4 months. So start preparing your research proposal and take actions to all these items that I have just discussed. So this is what you have to do during this current year 2025 for the April 2027 intake. Then December 2025 and January 2026, this is the period when the admission offer is sent to you. That means if you get selected for an admission to a particular university, you will receive the offer of admission during this period, December 25 to January 26. And at the same time, if the university recommends your name for next scholarship through the university track, then they may conduct online interviews on Zoom or Skype. And remember that there will be no written tests unless it is extremely required. There will not be any written test for the research category for the university track of next scholarship. So only online interviews will be carried out. So two things: admission offer is sent, and if you are recommended for MEC scholarship, then there will be online interviews. That means you don't have to go to Japan. You can give the interview from your home country itself. In February 2026, the university screens applicants and nominates selected ones to next. So depending on the performance of your online interview in February 2026, the university will send the nominations, shortlisted candidates nominations, to the next next selection board. Then during March, April 2026, final next university track results are announced. That means you will come to know whether you receive the MEC scholarship through the university track or not. Now, during the same period, you have to pay the fees for the first year tuition. So payment of the first year tuition fees is irrespective of the scholarship application, because at that time it's a very early period. So there may not be a scholarship confirmation at that time. So you will have to pay the fee. Then if you have, by that time, if the next scholarship result is announced, then your fees may be waived, because next scholarship covers that, and some other scholarships like Mitsui and others also waives that. Otherwise you will have to pay the fee, and later on if you get a scholarship, then you may get that reimbursed through the scholarship foundation. So that should not be a problem. But yes, you have to arrange the fee, the tuition fee of the first year, right after you are offered an admission, irrespective of whether you get a scholarship or not. So that is very, very important. Otherwise they will not process your visa application. They will not send you the COE, certificate of eligibility, and therefore you will not be able to apply for your student visa to the embassy. So payment of the first year fees is very, very important. Then again in March 2026, you have another chance to apply for JLPT to be held in July 2026. So this is, I'm sorry, this is July 2026, not 2025. So if you give JLPT N5 in December 2025, you can attempt JLPT N4 in July 2026, because there is not much difference between JLPT N5 and N4. So in 6 months, you can very well prepare for N4 and give it in 2026. So why I am focusing on JLPT? No one will ask you to give JLPT. The research programs which are taught in English, they do not require JLPT, but having a JLPT certificate will increase your chances to get a scholarship by many times. Then April to May 2026. If you are not selected for MEC scholarship through the university track, then you can apply for the next embassy track, MEC scholarship embassy track. So this you know very well, because we just ended this process for 2026. So for 2027 admissions, the next embassy track, it will begin in April, and in June or July, during June and July, there will be written tests and interviews as part of the first screening of next embassy recommendations for 2027 admissions. And along with that, in July, you can take the JLPT to enhance your scholarship chances. September, October 2026, this is the period when you can apply for few other scholarships directly, not via the university track. These are Honjo Scholarship, Rotary Yoneyama Scholarship, and some other scholarships. And also at that same time, you can apply for JLPT one more time to be held in December 2026. So you are having several chances: December 2025, July 2026, December 2026. So there are 3 JLPTs that will happen during this period. Then in November, December 2026, there will be a second screening for the next embassy track, and that will be done in Tokyo. So the next board will do that. Then before going to the next step, throughout 2026, that means throughout next year, if you are going to apply for April 2027 intake, then throughout 2026 you have to stay continuously in touch with the professor for recommending your name for non-mixed scholarships such as Kyoritsu, Yoshida, Nomura. There are many scholarships available. So as I said in the beginning, a good relation with the professor can work wonder. So if he is impressed, if he likes you, then you he may try his best to fetch a scholarship for you. And remember, the professors, it's not only in Japan, in every country, professors have very strong hold over these scholarship foundations, over the administration of the university, over the funds. He may have his own research funds, sponsored funds, and so on. So he has many things. So have a very, very good relation with the professor. And if he is impressed with you, then he can definitely, if not a full scholarship, at least a partial scholarship he can arrange for you. So stay in touch with your professor and keep discussing with him. Let him know about your financial condition. So be in touch with him. So in the next video, I will tell you in detail how to contact professors, how to search professors of your relevant field, how to communicate with him, and how to take that conversation forward. So this is going to happen throughout 2026. Then in January, February 2027, so now we have arrived in 2027, final mixed embassy results sent to the embassies. So mixed will take the decision about the successful candidates, and they will inform the respective embassies in various countries about that result. And in March 2027, in February, March 2027, the embassies will notify the successful applicants about mixed scholarships. That means about their selection, and private scholarship results such as Honjo, Rotary, and so on are also announced during this period. Scholarship results are also announced during this period. That means for April 2027 intake, you will come to know about whether you received the scholarship or not during the first quarter of 2027. In February, March, around February, March, you will come to know about the scholarship status. But if you are selected through the next university track, then you will come to know already 1 year back. That is in April, May, or by latest by June 2026, you will come to know about the university track results. Otherwise, you will come to know about the other scholarships and embassy track next scholarship in 2027 February March period. And after that there will not be enough time, so you have to be very mentally prepared that if you are notified about the scholarship in February or March, you should be able to travel to Japan towards the end of March and begin your studies in April 2027. So April 2027 will be the start of your academic year, that is the first year in Japan. Now, if you didn't get any scholarship, but you got the offer of admission and you paid the first year fees, you got the student visa, then you arrive in Japan in 2027 or late March 2027 and start your studies in April. And then you can apply for various post-arrival scholarships and other financial aid uh, once you start your studies in April. So the most important among those is the JASO scholarship. So in April 2027, JASO, some university specific fellowships, and some other financial aid that are available on campus, you should be able to apply. And for these also, before leaving the country, before leaving the home country, you can get advice from the professor with whom you have been communicating about all these post-arrival scholarships, how to manage finances. So the professor will give you a very clear picture about that university. Why I am not going into details? Because it may depend, it may vary from university to university, from program to program. So it is best, the best possible, the correct answer, the most appropriate answer can be given by the professor whom you have contacted and who is going to be your research guide. In May 2027, the university will screen and nominate eligible students to JASO based on their CGPA, top ranked, financial condition, etc. And then in June, the results will be announced by JASO about the scholarships, and the monthly stipend of JASO will begin in July 2027. That means you have to support yourself through your own fund from April to June, April, May, June, these 3 months. That is the first quarter after landing on Japan. You have to bear your own expenses. And from July onwards, if you are selected for JASO scholarship, then you will get a monthly stipend of 48,000 Japanese yen per month. Now, there are few other options as well, as I said. So what are these options? So these are the post-arrival scholarship options. First is the university scholarships. For example, University of Tokyo, Kyoto University, Osaka University. They have their own university scholarships. which they provide to the students who have not received any other scholarship such as MEXT or any other privately private foundation scholarships. So there are these university scholarships. They may not be full scholarships, but they are not bad as well. And for this, the professor has to recommend your name to the university administration to get the scholarship. And also, you can also apply through the admission office for these scholarships. So again, there will be a merit list prepared for the for the students who have applied for the scholarships, and the top ones will get the scholarship. Then the private foundations such as Yoshida, Kyoritsu, and so on. These also you may apply after landing on Japan. So one was before during the application process, but if you didn't get the scholarship at that time, you can apply the for a second time once you have started your studies in Japan. Then the JASO Honor Scholarship 48,000 per month that I have just discussed. Then there are very good opportunities for the research students, teaching assistantship and research assistantship positions. So you can work part-time in the university itself. So again, if you have a good rapport with the professor, then he can arrange a research assistantship or research associate position for you, or a teaching associate or a teaching assistant position for you. So in that, you have to take the laboratory classes for the undergraduate students. So generally the work is like that. So you have to be part of the lab periods for the undergraduate students, and you might have to take some classes as well. So this is a very, very good thing. So that will give you some exposure as well on your teaching abilities and interacting with junior students. So it's a very, very good opportunity. So advisor lab department, you have to apply through your advisor, that is your the professor, and also you can apply independently via the admission office or the department as well. And then there is part-time work like working in language schools. For example, if you are good in English, so you can become part of the language school and teach English to Japanese children or students. Then you can work in cafes. You can do some kind of teaching work in the schools, I mean the schools for kids within the campus. But to do that part-time work, you have to visit the immigration office and get approval from them, because the visa that you will be carrying will be a pure student visa in which working is not allowed. But for this on-campus work, there is a special category for student visas that you can take that via the university, and the immigration of Japan will offer you some limited part-time work approval, and you can work within the campus within the university. So all these will happen after you land up on Japan. So this slide shows that even if you do not get a scholarship before leaving your home country, there are still chances of getting at least a partial financial aid after reaching Japan. So don't leave your home country without any kind of confirmation. I would say just have your professor guide you, and if he says that you will definitely get this one of these scholarships after landing on Japan, then grab the opportunity, because Japanese people, they are very, very genuine, they are very, very honest and sincere. If they are saying something, then that is going to definitely happen. But in case if he says that the time is too tough and you may not get a scholarship, then you can decide whether to go or not. So depending on that, and all of these differ from university to university, graduate school to graduate school. So it's all a case by case thing. So I have come to an end of today's presentation, but I want to let you know that all these steps that we have discussed, this we will discuss in detail in separate videos from now onwards, and we shall begin with this first step, find information and research about universities, programs, fields of study, and start mentally preparing about your research area at high level. So this topic we will be dealing with in our next video of this series, Ticket to Tokyo. And then we will create another video in which I will tell you how to search for professors and how to contact them and how to take your application forward from there. So friends, that's all for today. I hope this video gave you an overall idea of how the admission process works for postgraduate degree courses in Japan for international students. So thanks for watching this video. If you are not yet a subscriber of this channel, please subscribe. The channel name is Saral Japani, where we talk about Japan and Japanese. I will wait for your response at youtube.com/at Saral Japani. So till we meet again, goodbye. Arigato gozaimasu. Matai masho.